Hello, this is Chad Middleton once again, Vision Counseling, Vocational Consulting, providing you assistance with your TDIU claim. I want to first of all thank all of you who are tuning in to our broadcast, video cast. I've been getting calls all across the country of veterans needing assistance with their TDIU claim. So I want to say thank you for reaching out to us. And today I want to focus on this one subject: evidence. What is evidence? Oftentimes the VA responds and says that we're denying your claim for unemployability because you don't have evidence to support your inability to work. So I wanted to talk briefly, just a couple of minutes, on what type of evidence may be sufficient for your claim. We all know that documentation from your treating providers is considered as evidence. In other words, you're being treated by a mental health practitioner, a psychiatrist, psychologist, social worker. Anything in your medical records, your VA medical records, your private medical records, that suggests you're unable to work or is not feasible or suitable for you to obtain employment because of your condition will be considered medical evidence. Anything coming from a medical doctor, person in the medical field that can give an expert opinion about your ability to work and the severity of your medical condition, can render an opinion about your ability to work. Now, as I said in other videos, medical doctors, treating physicians kind of shy away from providing that type of documentation, primarily because they are paid to treat conditions, not to render opinions about your ability to work. So we do know that your medical records can be considered and are mostly considered evidence that you can use for your IU claim. What other type of evidence can you use? Well, I've had many instances where a veteran was working and they are unable to work. They are getting written up on jobs and they're either terminated or they resign or they retire. And in their vocational files or their employment files, they have a history of problems on the job, arguments on the job, missed time from work, reprimands, written reprimands because of problems that they had performing their duties. And oftentimes your employment records can also be considered evidence to support your inability to work. So what does that employment record have to say? Well, it pretty much has to support what your disabilities are. If you have a PTSD condition and you're saying you have problems with anger, you're saying you have problems with stress on the job, you're saying you have problems working with certain coworkers, and your employment file supports your inability to work, your employment file supports you not coming to work because you have a history of calling in sick, using up sick days, that can be used to support your inability to work. However, that evidence must be specific in regards to your service-connected condition. In other words, your employment file can't say you're missing work for doctor's appointments if that doctor's appointment is for something that's non-service connected. If you are involved in a motor vehicle accident and you miss work from a motor vehicle accident and the motor vehicle accident is not service connected, then of course the VA won't do the work to tie the two together, and therefore you're still in a situation where you lack the evidence. You know the reason why you didn't go to work, or the reason why you had to quit the job, or the reason why you had to retire from that job, but the VA doesn't have that information clearly. Okay, so we have the medical records, You have your employment records. Sometimes the VA definitely likes to call your previous employer or your current employer. But the VA also uses information from your closest of kin, people that can attest to the problems that you're having with your service-connected condition. Now, they may not rely totally on that, but certainly a written letter from your spouse, a written letter from your previous employer, a written letter from anyone to substantiate the problems that you're having would definitely be a plus. But the written letter from a relative may not be as substantial as the record that we mentioned previously, the medical record, or the information in your employment files. And lastly, I want to talk to you about the type of record or type of evidence that you can use to support your inability to work. That is vocational records or vocational evidence. This is what we provide at Vision Counseling and Vocational Consulting. A vocational evaluation consists of an evaluation of your aptitudes, your abilities, your past work, your work history, your medical records, labor market information, vocational exploration, and what we determine is, based on your limitations and the information that's in your medical records, what types of jobs are you capable of performing considering the effects of your service-connected disabilities. Now, there have been evaluations that I've done that resulted in identification of jobs that you can pursue. Certainly you want to use that as support for you not going to work. But in many instances, the severity of the veteran's service-connected conditions will limit them from performing a great deal of jobs in the national economy. And a vocational expert like myself can provide you that assessment, that evaluation, that exploration, that research, and provide that in a written document supporting your inability to work. And it's stated clearly, if I can come to the conclusion that because of the extent and severity of your service-connected conditions, that there are no suitable occupations, a reasonably stable job market does not exist for you, you can use that evidence as evidence to support your inability to work. Now, I'm certified as a rehabilitation counselor. I'm certified as a vocational evaluator. I'm licensed as a professional counselor. I work to provide you that documentation to support your claim. Now, I say with all of my vets that there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that the result of my evaluation will guarantee the VA granting you benefits. Because I do realize, even though I've worked there myself for over 12 years, that you're dealing with a system. The government is a system. There's processes involved in moving your case from claim to claim and approving your claim. So you have to go through the process. But I must say this, and I want you to hear me very well. Every vocational evaluation that I've completed for every veteran that I have assisted has resulted in a granting of individual unemployability benefits. I'm going to say that one more time. Every vet that I've assisted and I've concluded that they're unable to work because of the impact of their service-connected disabilities, when I provided them that documentation, they have gone on 100% of the time to get individual unemployability by the VA. Now, That's why it's very important that if you are to use our services, you need to have a thorough assessment completed. And before I do any work, I need to see some evidence. I need to see some medical records. I need to see your rating. I need to see your work history, some things that I have to explore before determining whether I can help you. And if we determine that we can help you, we'll talk to you further about the next step in the process. We're here in Columbia, South Carolina, but we're willing to provide this assessment, this service to anyone in the United States. We'll talk to you further about how we're going to get the information we need. It may require a trip, either you to South Carolina or me to your location. But we'll talk to you further about that once we get you on the phone. But we encourage you to give us a call. My assistant will send you an assessment questionnaire and have you to complete that. And then we'll follow up with the next step in the process. But I hope this information has been helpful to you. I hope that you use it, that you continue to work, that you're not discouraged about the process of getting your claim through. It is just that. It's not personal. It's a process, and you're dealing with the system. But what you need is evidence to support your inability to work. And we're here at Vision Counseling to try to help you get that documentation. Give us a call. Our number here in Columbia, South Carolina is 803-563-5087. Or you can email us at chadmiddleton@vcandvc.com. That's Chad, CHADDMIDDLETON @vcandvc.com. Or you can visit us on the web. The website address is www.vcandvc.com. Check out our website. Give us a call. I'm getting many telephone calls, and I have veterans giving me all the information over the telephone. Unfortunately, I can't talk to you for 30 minutes to an hour talking about your case. But if you send me your documentation, you send me your information, I can give you the allotted time to share that information with me, and I'll be more than happy to discuss with you your case. For now, that is all. I hope that you've been informed about evidence, and if you have any other questions, just give us a call or email us or visit our website. Thank you very much. You have a blessed evening.